Srivastava from GMR Airport, Deirdre and Shekhar from Let's Go, Jerry Pinto from the My Segment, and Parag Ragnekar from Rigya Expeditions. Now all these are stakeholders representing different segments. We have Ernest who represents the the foreign market. Hotels and luxury hotels are represented by Monsoon. Airlines are represented by Anupama from Fly 91. Airport GMR is represented by Akash Srivastava. OTAs are represented by Deirdre and Shekhar from Let's Go. MICE is represented by Jerry Pinto from Buzz Events, and experience providers are represented by Parag Ragnekar of Rigya Expeditions, and I represent TTAG.
So I request all of them one by one to share their views, starting with on this dais.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to mention. I would like to.
Mike is better.
Yes. Okay. I would like to mention today that the international business, especially the charter business, is looking very positive for the coming season. Mainly because there are some destinations across the Gulf where clients are a bit skeptical to travel. So we are expecting more charter flights and more tourists coming into Goa. You've got to know that, like from the UK, TUI is coming with bigger numbers in the sense that we're talking about it coming with wide-bodied aircraft. We have charter 2 flights coming from Poland. They may increase to 3. We have good numbers already, bookings coming from Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and we are also talking to new destinations like Croatia, Romania. Hopefully this will materialize, and we are more optimistic because there are some destinations, as I mentioned earlier, which may not do so well because of the present world's political situation. So that will help Goa, and Goa in the past too has benefited always when there has been some crisis in other places. People find it safer to travel into Goa. Now I'm talking about a charter business. The FIT business is also looking very good because a lot of people are planning to come to Goa and India, and then a lot of people do the round trips and then come to Goa. So the bookings are already coming in, and on a positive note, we have received even bookings for the months of June, July, August. Bookings have come early, although usually bookings come pretty late for this summer period. But we have started receiving bookings coming early, and I must say that this has helped our situation. When earlier we were a bit apprehensive, but now it's looking good for us and for Goa when we see these numbers slowly coming in. And I must admit that this has helped because we had fan trips coming from different charter destinations. Tourism department headed by Honorable Tourism Minister has supported financially to take care of these fan trips, which has helped. And destinations like Poland, Denmark, Norway. So we see quite a bit of FIT bookings coming into Goa. So this has helped us for the coming season. So we are optimistic that especially among the 3, 4 and 5-star hotels will receive sizable amount of international tourists for this season.
From the hotel segment, can we request Monsoon from IHCL to wait?
Yeah, my name is Monsoon. I'm the commercial director for IHCL, and I'd like to sort of break this into 2 parts of how the forward booking pace is looking like. Firstly, let's talk about the monsoon bit. We already see that there are a lot of monsoon weddings primarily getting booked in Goa for this season, and although the FIT booking trend has reversed a bit, and we get to see that people are actually booking a little bit last moment, but the current trend is that we are seeing more than anticipated occupancy in most of the hotels in Goa, which means that a week out, where hotels are sitting at less than 30-40% occupancy, eventually get close to sold out situations on the day. So that primarily has shown that the booking trend has still been very last moment, especially for this destination. Forward bookings for the season, especially from the wedding sector, is already seeing a 20% surge, which means that the next season, which is primarily the wedding season starting from middle of November after Diwali until March, is already ahead of pace than how it was last year, which is a great sign, and that will help the hotel industry to also plan better. As far as the international leisure trend is concerned, because of strong commitment from TUI, we can also see that the UK booking pace is also looking quite good, and the Russian market booking period has also sort of started. We have started to see some bookings coming from that sector also, and we hope that this is going to be better than the last year. We pretty much operate as a company between luxury, upscale, economy and the villa sector, and across all these sectors we are seeing that there is a fairly good growth momentum, and as we also collaborating therefore with the Department of Tourism, tour operators and airlines to constantly keep doing educational tours, fam tours into the destination, so that we can expand our horizon and reach out to new markets and cater to them. Thanks.
Take Akash Srivastava from GMR next. Good evening. We at GMR Airports continue to work very closely with leading airlines to instill the opportunity, the confidence in the Goa opportunity. We are working very closely along with the tourism department to ensure that despite what is happening around across the globe, the routes and the frequency of flights to Goa does not impact, or even if it has been rolled back, it should be brought back. Okay, we were working very closely with the principals and key airlines, number one. Number two, we continue to work on initiatives which leverage the inherent strengths of Goa. We are working on efforts to complement Goa tourism's efforts to offer distinguished experience to tourists in Goa, which is to offer exquisite airport experiences to the passengers who arrive. Also, there is a huge opportunity on the charter front. We sense a huge opportunity, and our teams are already working on it to leverage that strength. Thank you. Anupama from the airline sector, Fly 91.
From an airline perspective, firstly, very thankful to TTAG and Honorable Minister to put all the stakeholders together. It gives us a great forum to collaborate and push business into Goa. We are a Goa-based airline, and we connect 5 destinations as of now with a daily flight, except Solapur, where we are doing 6 times a week. We've started a discount on the website to run the Monsoon offer, a 50 rupees offer anybody who books on the website. We've also come up with a baggage offer called the Smart Bag 91, wherein we are giving very deep discounts on the baggage that people bring in, especially for holiday makers. So it's about 3,000 rupees for a 30 kilos that they can book on the website or with the travel partner. We are pushing OTAs and other agencies, the B2B agents, for bringing in charters and group businesses. And we've in fact rolled out a special offer on the group pricing as well. That is something we are doing. And as a pure play regional airline, we are very focused on the culture and the ethos of being Indian and being Goan. So we are promoting a lot of festivals already on our Insta handle, and we continue to work with the tourism stakeholders and take this forward and bring in a lot of footfall into Goa, and totally committed to doing that.
MICE, Jerry Pinto.
Hello, good evening. So when it comes to MICE, basically we would say that Goa has had an extremely positive and powerful season that's gone by. For the monsoon season, we're already seeing quite a large amount of queries that have started coming in. Goa, as you know, has got multiple operators who are extremely versatile and extremely well suited and having sufficient inventory of qualitative equipment that can cater to MICE segments across the country. Whether it be national, whether they be international, we have it all available in the state of Goa, and extremely well-trained personnel as well to conduct such activities for them. On the front of MICE, again, team building is an offering which is being offered across the state of Goa through various kinds of experiences that are already present, and we are happy to present those to whoever comes in with their queries to the state of Goa. We're also planning a very unique one-off festival for the monsoon season over here in Goa. It's going to be a monsoon festival which will be happening right out in the open, and we have already put forward the proposal to the Department of Tourism. We expect their support and support of likewise stakeholders who will be able to come across and help us out with this monsoon festival, which will be a big attraction to tourists to come in during this particular season. Taking a step a little further, post-monsoon already, events, weddings, exhibitions are having a large number of queries that are pouring into the state. Many of us are extremely busy right now answering queries for that particular season. So we look forward to a very positive outgrowth for the state of Goa. Thank you.
For the OTA sector, Deirdre and Shekhar from Let's Go, one of you can do.
Hi, good evening. So we've been working with the tourism department here to promote Goa through the season, starting with the monsoon and going forward as well. What we're looking at is having a specific site and page which will have Goa state-specific exclusive monsoon packages and events where we work with the local vendors and to have the things like rafting, and which you'll only see during the season, during the monsoon season, which is not available any other time of the year, listed and can be booked directly, and promoting Goa through social media with these activities, Instagram, Facebook, Reels, targeting Gen Z, the later millennials target crowd as well. And also bundling these activities with packages and stays, so even families who want to come down and stay at a hotel, take the advantage of having a day or two here and there, long weekends during the season coming up, can also avail of these packages as such. We've seen a very strong presence on the website, particularly in the first quarter of this year, which is Jan to March 2026. April has been very steady, but we're also seeing a lot of queries coming in for activities, people asking us, we're planning trips to Goa in June, July, what can we do during that time? So that's when we start pushing the local festivals, the local heritage and culture activities that are available, and we're seeing a positive movement for the monsoon season.
We are also promoting religious and cultural tourism, as well as experiential and sensitization programs. So our focus will be not only on the star categories, but also the budget, the interiors, and different experiences that Goa can offer in this period where we have a lot of rain, a lot of green, and make it a beautiful experience for travelers coming into Goa.
Parag Ragnekar from the Experiential.
So good evening. So monsoon obviously is a time when the focus changes from the coast towards the hinterland, and Goa is absolutely something else during the monsoons, especially from the wildlife and biodiversity point of view, because this is one place where you can do night trails, explore the forest with complete safety. I don't think there's any other place, especially in South India, where you can walk in the night, without being worried about your safety. Experiential tourism is something that it's a very growing segment, especially in the youth. So for this monsoon, we have a plethora of activities, right from nature trails to night trails to herping, which is basically we take people out looking for reptile and amphibians, photography tours, heritage, culture, festivals of Goa, and so on and so forth. And the experience last year of when it was promoted, monsoons was promoted for the first time, have been very positive, and we are hopeful that this year will be far better, and we are quite positive about, and we're looking forward to the coming 3-4 months. Thank you.
So on behalf of TTAG, I would like to once again thank the Honorable Minister for having this regular review meetings. I think last year it took this proactive step when business was falling down in the monsoon period on running a campaign. And I'm sure this year also we'll take this campaign forward. The campaign was discussed, all the stakeholders got on board, and we'll be taking it forward. The Honorable Minister has an amazing capacity to work. Like our Honorable Prime Minister, he also has a 56-inch chest, as you can see. And he makes sure that we are all bought and we have long 8-hour meetings at the end of which proactive decisions are taken for the benefit of tourism in the state. So once again, I thank him for his proactive approach. We will be running this campaign for for the 4 months going into the monsoon season. And the industry is thankful to him for taking his time and having this interactive sessions.
Good evening. To sum up the whole thing, first and foremost, I would like to thank all the stakeholders who have shared their views on behalf of the industry, which mean business as far as Goa tourism is concerned. I would also take this opportunity to thank all my media friends here who have been here and the print media who will definitely take our views based on the press conference. Because at the end of the day, if we work collaboratively, that is the way Goa wins. So here we have had people from every industry, every part, whether it was airlines, whether it was the airport authority, whether travel agents, experiential form of tourism, the OTA platforms, the hotels, the TTAG president, MICE operators representing themselves, then all the tourism service providers and the experiential tour operators. I think last year we needed to get the things right. And when we expected a dip in certain numbers, we spoke about how we can curate monsoon tourism. And that's how the monsoon tourism whole thing, the industry came with the idea. Whatever support the government needed to give, we gave it. And I think the industry did well in the last year. The numbers grew up internationally and domestic numbers went up. And the overall scenario year to year, if we see, has been a growth factor in the numbers as far as domestic numbers are concerned and international numbers are concerned. As we move from volume to value based, it is very important for us as a government also to keep changing our thought process. With the help of our Prime Minister and the central government, we have been able to invest a lot in terms of central projects under Swadesh Darshan, under challenge-based schemes, many schemes which is coming in and which will be able to promote cultural tourism, spiritual tourism, rural circuits, coastal circuits in different forms, curating new thoughts for the tourists who would want to explore more. The thought process is continuously changing. The Gen Z, the Gen Alpha, the groups carrying nostalgic moments of Goa, wanted to come back and do a Zindagi Na Milagi Dobara. So many people moving and curated. But end of the day, government of Goa is only a facilitator. As a tourism minister working with our Chief Minister, Dr. Pramod Sawant, all we can do is facilitate and ensure and endorse and understand the problems of the industry and move them ahead. And Ek Malle as one team, the government with the industry as one team has been moving, taking steps ahead. Where we understand their concerns. When the international charters were having certain concerns that the industry put across, कि तांका airline incentives आहे म्हणून. And with the help of the Chief Minister, we introduced the airline incentive. That eased out a lot of part for them to promote more sectors, more numbers of charter operators to come in. A small example. And year to year, then again the thought was the next 6 months, Jan to March, the first quarter, everybody is sold out. April to June, each one starts preparing. And then for the next 6 months, it's quite challenging in terms of how you need to move the monsoons, how you need to move the things. And here, we need collaboration. Goya ek bare. Nobody is I, it's we. And that's why I think the Goa model works much differently in terms of everybody talking together. Today, the airline partners, the hotel partners, the experiential tour operators, the OTAs, everybody is coming together, including the airport authority, to ensure the monsoon sells well as a package. And अशा ज्यांना जाता त्यांना tourism flourish जाता. एक वाटेन आमचा Honorable Prime Minister is ensuring that domestic tourism in India is absolutely witnessing unprecedented growth. And we need to ensure that Goa continues to remain one of the country's most aspirational destinations. We have been spending on infrastructure. We are looking at safety, destination management, beach infrastructure, cleanliness, accessibility, visitor experience बरे जावचे म्हणून हो की फोकस करून टुरिझम आम्ही फुडें व्हरता. आमकां हांगा आज मॉन्सून टुरिझम पळयता आसतना we also need to understand, like a few of our friends from the industry have shared, there are challenges which are there globally. These challenges globally, whether it's a war situation or whatever, has affected aviation to a certain extent. There are certain airline shortages, there are certain route rationalization by certain airlines like Indigo, Air India. But here we have to understand, in spite of these sectors and challenges, the numbers keep coming with a strong demand as far as Goa is concerned. International connectivity, our friend NS has already shared how he looks at this monsoon vis-a-vis last year, where the numbers are still coming in. When there's nothing called as off-season now anymore as far as Goa is concerned. Jerry has nicely shared about the expectancy of the MICE market. Events, conferences, incentive meetings, they are looking at Goa as a destination. And today the country, the center today has made Department of Tourism in every state as the nodal agency, as a MICE promotion bureau to be formed under Tourism Department, which already we are in the part of forming that, which will allow us to aggressively market conventions, attract conventions, corporate events, global meetings, weddings as a single window to put these things in perspective, which will help the industry actually with the help of a MICE bureau, which will again have people like a Goa Tourism Board. You will have people from the industry and the government sitting together and having a very clear plan. असले जेन्ना जाता तेन्ना ह्या tourism growthan एक वाटेन sun, sand and sea उलयता आमी, and the whole narrative of Goa Beyond Beaches already picked up very well, which from 2022, this was a thought process which I had taken in, that Sadat tourism stops at the sun, sand, sea, party life, and perception of Goa stops there. Paragan bare मांडले की how Goa Beyond Beaches they promote. आणि हातून एक important असा आमकां सगळ्यांक की with the whole growth, what happens as far as tourism is concerned, should benefit local communities, should create employment, should support MSMEs, and also at the same time preserve Goa's unique identity and environment. आज आम्ही सतत म्हणटा देयर ओनली गोवा म्हणून की आमचे कल्चर आणि गोवन्स आर सो इंट्रिन्सिकली बॉन्डेड दॅट मेक्स अस व्हेरी युनिक. हे सगळे फुडें वता आसतना विथ द ऑप्टिमिझम द होल इंडस्ट्री इज शोईंग ऑन डोमेस्टिक अँड इंटरनॅशनल नंबर्स, some friends from certain media suddenly have started a narrative in a couple of days back कि international tourists are looking at alternate destinations, somebody is looking at some other thing. I think these PR guys or the people who are working with which state or what, I wouldn't want to comment. But these narratives have been coming year to year. We do not want to reason it out. But Goa remains a preferred destination in spite of all these type of people coming together to create a false narrative as far as the state of Goa is concerned. International numbers, in spite of the challenges, we are looking at an increase in numbers. So if somebody is talking and some media is talking about a forecast that the numbers may not look very prominent, I think the industry is already talking and chalking and finalizing agreements which talks about its numbers. Monsoon tourism is already taking a very different thought as far as the industry is concerned. So one thing is, as far as foreign tourist arrivals are concerned, the state of Goa is very optimistic that the international numbers will have a growth pattern vis-a-vis last year. There are certain sects of the people who are still comparing us with the 2019 pre-COVID numbers. So sometimes I would call it stupid. That is not the right word, some other way. That 2019 onwards and now, when we start comparing our numbers, we need to also understand the way we are connected. Connectivity challenges as we take up with the center to increase the connectivity, increase the wide-bodied aircraft, increase the numbers. Because market analysis says there is a demand to come into India and Goa from international destinations. And we all know that we have our own strains, whether it's the airport authorities or everybody, in terms of getting new airlines connected to Goa directly. So at this particular point of time, when we are trying to work things better, the number game can change only in terms of connectivity going up. So 2019 and कितले येताले आणि आता आम्ही कितले येता, from the way the market has changed and the market tourism has changed, we are seeing numbers grow year to year from 2022, 23, 24, 25, 26. We are seeing an increase. ते increase समज double up करतले, त्याला आपण connectivity ची गरज असा, which we have already taken up with the center through our Honorable Chief Minister, where we are trying to seek connectivity, wide-bodied aircraft, sport sharing, आमका दी, तातल्यान आमका numbers वाढोंक मेळटा म्हणून as far as international is concerned. So one is the focus on the international numbers and the storytelling which has started happening which we would like to put a very clear foothold, saying that let us compare year to year in terms of the pattern and the new market that we have tapped. Like NS said, Poland, market Ekaterinburg, Novosibirsk, TUI coming with new markets from Manchester, Gatwick, Moscow. There are so new Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. These numbers are coming. Example, आम्ही पळयत दिल्ले Kazakhstan आम्ही वताले. आमकां प्रश्न येताले कित्याक वता काय म्हणून. Last year Kazakhstan numbers in India were 25,000 all put together inbound, and Goa had got 6,000, 7,000. This year in the first quarter from Jan to March, Kazakhstan numbers have crossed 7,000 already. So we are talking numbers from newer markets, and that is how we need to do, because earlier legacy market talked about only two pockets. One was Russia, one was UK. Today our friends from the industry have realized that they are increasing the pockets, and we are happy to support them in their endeavor to get newer markets. So international Astana, domestic markets also, whether it's airlines, whether it's the airports, whether it is the other stakeholders from MICE to others, everybody is putting their shoes together and ensuring that end of the day Goa remains a preferred destination, because we call ourselves not only a destination, we call ourselves a complete lifestyle and an experience economy, and that's the best we would like to give our people. So एक म्हणल्यार stakeholders meeting in last जे आमी घेतिल्ले आनी आतां there were a lot of issues that have been discussed in every sector, every part. I'm very happy the way the industry has put it, whether Jack representing TTAG and the hotel industry, or the rest of our friends who have been here vocal about their issues, proactively are very positive, with very positive sentiments as far as this year and tourism goes. So I would request our friends from the media to ensure that the storytelling which is happening otherwise, a false narrative which is being created, as we pass the right message to the people, as the year ends, the numbers will speak. And we are very positive as far as not only domestic numbers, which are seeing quite a jump in the overall percentage of growth, and coming from newer markets as far as India is concerned, not only through the families and the friends who have been coming, but also through weddings and conferences. At the same time, international numbers also going up. So summing it up, the stakeholders meeting has been quite ended on a positive note. There are still issues which will be discussed. We will keep talking to them, and our Secretary Tourism, Mr. Sandeep Jacks, our Director Kedar Naik, our MD Kuldeep Arolkar, and the rest of the Department of Tourism team also continuously, along with our new Chairman Kedar Naik of Goa Tourism Development Corporation, has been ensuring that we keep weaving new stories, sitting in the industry, understanding their problems and finding solutions. End of the day, government actors काहीच करू शकना, industry actors काहीच करू शकना, collaboratively आम्ही करू शकता. Last year करून दाखवला, आणि या वर्षी आम्ही पूर्ण तऱ्हेन positive note वर पुढे वतात की the number game, whoever tries to give a false narrative, the industry is prepared, industry is going to go with it, and we are here to facilitate and support the thought process of the industry to make this Goa and keep them as a preferred destination. Thank you.
So one small question. Now PM has made this austerity appeal and very categorically told people to not travel abroad. How does Goa see this initiative? Is this an opportunity, or is this a challenge, or it's too soon? Is this part of the consultation?
No, talking to the industry, we seem to have already been having more inquiries coming from the domestic market itself. Weddings which were abroad automatically change their destinations. They are finding Goa or Jaipur or a couple of 2 or 3 states to talk about. So we find an opportunity here. As far as the other areas are concerned, every family wants to go for a holiday. Respecting the sentiments of our Prime Minister, they will look at it being done in the country itself. So we will, end of the day, our country works through a very competitive, cooperative and collaborative form of federalism. And I think every state has something to earn out of this whole story in terms of the numbers. So domestic numbers definitely, as far as Goa is concerned, the new generation, Gen Z and millennials and all these things, they are not planning holidays like before. The industry is today talking about that they don't plan their holidays. Like how we used to plan 2 महीने के बाद मैं holiday के लिए जाऊँगा. This week they decide next week 8 of us we are going to Goa. Their first thought is Goa. Holiday एक बार मन में आ गया, it is Goa. So now with cultural tourism, spiritual tourism added to the Goa Beyond Beaches, added to the flavor, the number of nights also we expect to increase. So average domestic tourists to stay for 3 or 4 nights, we expect them they will stay at least for 5 nights. So 1 night or 2 nights increase again is better for the economy and the state in terms of this. We have had certain things in terms of international since going and putting things across in marketing. We are revisiting this area. I have asked director also to revisit the area along with the industry and see whether we can use digital medium or what medium to promote our destination internationally. If there is a certain restrictions on travel and how we can promote ourselves in this particular market.
So when you talk about number game, so what are the prospects you are looking as far as monsoon tourism is concerned? Because Goa has a lot to offer even during monsoon.
See, let us first understand we have 4 sectors of the category of hotels: A, B, C, D, 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1 guest house सगळे. आता थंय competition येतकर the biggest challenge for a government today is the C and D category, the lower category of hotels. Today we are looking at whether we can put restrictions on the registration of new hotels in that category. At the same time, give a shout out to the existing ones to upgrade themselves to a better category. Ki that ek mullar, we were always talking about quality over quantity. And if you see the inventory of the 4 stars and 5 stars seem to be very comfortable in terms of selling their rooms at that particular price. And there are takers for it. Wherein the lower category of rooms which have been there earlier, you are finding people having challenges today selling those rooms at that particular price and cost. So we are right now it is too premature for us to announce anything, but we need to sit with the industry, we need to sit with TTAG, we need to understand the part where how we can make things better. But prospectively, pehle inventory of C and D category hotels have gone so high in the last couple of years. थंय तांकां तितल्या रेटी तितल्या लोकांक थंय ताका लोक कमी आसात, पण upper category of hotels they are being filled up. So the challenge here is dual. One is whether we can restrict right now the further registration of C and D category hotels. And second is whether we can have something sorted to upgrade the existing C and D category so they can have better avenues in terms of promoting their own hotels and selling it in a better manner. Boutique hotels, बाकीचे समज तांकां upgrade करपाक मेळटा, कित्याक upgrade केल्ले facilities लोक मेळटा. So we'll need to find a bridge. After having a chat with the industry, the TTAG and the industry, I think we will be able to comment further, which in the next 15 days to 20 days, I think we should be able to come up with some particular solution to that industry, that part of the industry.
Sir, so you don't expect any. Sir, you all don't expect any negative impact from this global disturbances and the Prime Minister's call to cut down on travel.
No, we are not talking about outbound, we are talking about inbound.
Inbound, yeah.
So when we are cutting our travel, our domestic tourism increases. And we are still doing our part of getting international tourist tours. So as our friend NS spoke out, he is one of the most experienced person as far as Goa is concerned in terms of charter movement and international movement. So they are the people who talk and they know the industry by things. That is why today we requested them, every time it is the government talking, so I said let every part of the industry and the stakeholder share their sentiment, because constructively we have to build the story together. End of the day, every part of the fellow of the industry, or the stakeholder, we need to give them that support so that they move ahead. So certain challenges the event guys have today in that space. The event management guys have a single window, they have certain things which were getting sorted. So as the challenges are being sorted, that doesn't stop us from getting more businesses. So we are very optimistic as far as the overall scenario of the travel is concerned.
So what is the current footfall of foreign tourists in Goa? And they are increasing or decreasing? What is the
year to year, the first quarter has been almost on the same line. It's about just hardly about 0.3% increase. So the first quarter. So second quarter, as it gets over, then we come with the overall thought as far as numbers are concerned. But the part of the industry which has been talking about the number game, I think we are optimistic about the season, the whole year.
Gulf of War चालू आता किती impact?
तेच पडले मरे Gulf of War झाला तर आमका बरे पडले नी. Destination weddings from a lot of destination weddings are going to Bahrain, going to the Middle East. They are looking at alternatives within the country. So it can be a fort like Jaipur, whether it is Goa or a sun sea destination. So Dhoni what in the country gains. At the same time, our people from the MICE are quite aggressive. आमचे गोयकार जे माइस businessmen are very aggressive to get business into Goa, and I'm pretty sure they'll pick up a lot of opportunities on the inquiries they get.
Key part of this MICE, especially weddings, was the wedding policy that the tourism had drafted, I think. How is that working out, the policy itself?
The wedding policy already is in discussion stage. But as we were looking only at wedding policy, we went a little slow on the wedding policy with the thought. Because the overall thought of the country has shifted to tourism promoting MICE. And that is how the center has told us to form a MICE promotion bureau. The MICE promotion bureau will have a part which will have the industry and the government again sitting together. And that MICE bureau will not only talk about weddings, they will talk about conferences, they will talk about events, they will talk about meetings, they will talk about getting everything together under one window. That will leave a very clear part for our event managers or the friends of the event industry to move every line of business together. And their inputs in that particular line will be very important for us.
So we'll see a fresh policy being removed, being brought
You
up?
will find a very fresh line, not only for weddings, but overall in terms of creating destination weddings or conferences or events. Every line will find a vertical moving out. The bureau is in the almost in the formation stage.
So by fortnight to form it?
Within a month.
Within a month.
So how do you react on those issues when you're trying to do a lot of things opportunities? They're doing a lot of new inventions as far as tourism minister is concerned. And there are certain tourists or something where there are chaos created, or certain issues come up in tourism belt, and how do you react on that?
We are a tourism department. I think it's high time we get a classification of our industry now. पण आमकां जेन्ना कोणूय कितेंय करूं, टावर्स बिचार दिश्टी पडले टुरिजमार दिश्टी पडटा, टावर्स रस्त्यार दिश्टी पडले टुरिजम दिश्टी पडटा, कुत्रे दिश्टी पडले टुरिजम दिश्टी पडटा, पॉटहोल्स पडले टुरिजम दिश्टी पडटा, कितेंय दिश्टी पडले तुका टुरिजम दिश्टी पडटा. लोक रॉंग नास. It's a collective responsibility. If every department owns their responsibility well, I think then there is no problems. But along with the Chief Minister, we are trying to sort out every vertical. Taxes are issues are we need to sort out. And we have been moving very proactively and progressively with that particular thought. आणि एक म्हणल्यार तुका तूं म्हणटा प्रोग्रेसिव्ह शेक पॉलिसी आमी ह्या सरकार आयिल्ल्याक I always keep saying that shacks are here before the tourist म्हणून. Every year the tourists used to come, there were no shacks. Now by September shacks are erected. The director has been expediting this movement so that the industry is able to start business before the tourists come. Man, sagar ready kar, sagar to they ensure that it is done. So the team along with the department of the director of tourism also is working continuously to ensure that every part is looked at. The single window water sports are sangillo. Single window kele. Certain shortfalls he has highlighted the other day. We have told him to request them to start before the season starts. But every tourist, every stakeholder has to be equally responsible as what the government has sentiments for. आमकां गोंयकारांकूच फुडें काडपाक जाय, भायल्यान न्हय. पूण काडटा आसतना regulations and responsibility are also part of the same lines.
You have started moving around the beaches also. You have started moving around the beaches also.
No, I keep moving. I'll call you also next time.
As Mr. Parag Rangnekar specified, during the monsoons, the shift turns towards the hinterland. You have a local beat also who does this interior experiences. Last time what we saw, a lot of confusion came in when the forest department said, treks are closed, waterfalls are closed, and then you'll intervene. Any proactive measures this time?
After the stakeholders meeting, Director Tourism and Secretary Tourism I sangla ki to have a joint meeting with the forest officials, to have the season right. At the same time, there are certain things of irregular or unregistered tour operators who are curating events in the hinterlands without any responsibility nor any concern about the environment. So as we talk of regenerative tourism, you have ambassadors like Parag who have been not looking at a business model but to promote Goa in the right manner. So 10 group vartalo, 12 group vartalo, although you can take 100 in a day, he takes that 10. But these things coming to our note, I have asked Director along with Secretary to immediately first get a registration process right. We have asked the industry itself to give us a rules and regulations and responsibilities document, which with deliberations with the department, with the director, we will ensure that it is implemented ASAP as they give us. So there are rules and regulations in those areas also. It shouldn't be over tourism anywhere, especially in the areas where green is concerned. We need to respect nature and ensure that we do not do over tourism in those areas. So if it is planned well through regulated operators, things go well. Every time is a learning, and with learning with them, we are ready to take the new challenges and move it ahead.
म्हणजे इन्स्टाचेर तुम्ही हम्पी टूर म्हणून प्रमोट करता तुमकां दिसना की अशें तरेन घातलें जाल्यार
कोणे घालो हम्पी टूर
इन्स्टाचेर
खंयच्या
तुमचे हम्पी टूर म्हणून प्रमोट करता
हम्पी टूर घाला कोणे घालो तागे पळय
इन्स्टाचेरूच घालो
खंयच्या रे हँडल करना सांगले
गोवा टुरिजम
गोवा टुरिजम असचे ना
आसा चेक
It is GTDC is organizing tours.
GTDC, I will
गोवा
just check.
टुरिजम हम्पी टूर म्हणून प्रमोट करता अशें तरेन मायंड डायवर्ट जाल्यार तुमी हम्पी वचून
हम्पी टूर आहे
सर्किटूय
का?
जाता न्हू ती सर्किटूय जाता
तुका सांगू शकता हम्पी टूराचेर
तुमच्याच पेजीर हम्पी टूर
हम्पी टूर समज आसा ते गोवा टुरिजम डेव्हलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशनान कितें विचारान घेतला ते विचारून लेट गोवा टुरिजम डेव्हलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन टॉक अबाउट इट बट एज फार एज द ओवरऑल थॉट आय थिंक लेट अस लिमिट टू वॉट वी आर टॉकिंग तू इन्स्टाचें सांगता बरें आसलें मिडियान नोट केली खूब बरें आसलें we accept if there are things we need to clear, but let the news go well to why we are sitting here, the stakeholders to promote tourism as far as Goa is concerned. Let us be clear on that, where I would expect support from our friends on the media.
सर हे आता जे टॅक्सीचे फेअर बी वाडलात आनी ट्रॅव्हल कॉस्ट कितें हीट जाता
टॅक्सीचे फेअर काय वाडले
म्हणजे नॉर्मल हाय
पेट्रोल.
वाडटा
पेट्रोल वाले
आता इट्स अ ग्लोबल फिनॉमिना ट्रम्प थंय उठता आनी वॉर करता आमच्या हातान आमच्या हातान आसा त्या गोष्टींतल्यान वाट काडया बरें आतां तुमचो सपोर्ट जाय आमकां थँक्यू